So again, welcome. So the Center for Undergraduate Research and Creative Activity is such a long name that we just go by the term CRCA. For those of you who are new to the university, welcome. For those of you who have been here and are climbing up, getting closer to, being juniors and seniors, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, we are always happy to have you. So generally, in better times, I host this event in the center, which is located on the second floor of the library mezzanine. And I generally host a free lunch. This is just a really informal way for students to come to the center to get to know where we're located, what kind of resources that we have to offer, and to also provide an opportunity for almost like an incubator space for students, faculty, and staff that normally wouldn't maybe interact or get to know each other to come to the table, to join in a very, simple lunch and to have these conversations that hopefully will guide you in your thinking, inform you, and get you excited about engaging in the university in ways that maybe you hadn't thought about or had and just aren't ready to, but get closer to be ready to, whatever it may be. We are here for you. So the center is actually about going on 3 years old. We opened our doors in the fall of 2018. Westfield State University and its faculty and staff have always been committed to providing students with applied experiences. And we really wanted to have a place where we could institutionalize this practice and provide constant, resources, professional development, and funding for students to engage, whether it's in research in the laboratory setting or an internship or a creative process like music or art, writing, whatever it may be. We wanted to have a place for students to come and also a place for us to connect with other resources on campus. So today I'm really excited to introduce my co-leader for this workshop. And this is Giselle Frechette, and she is the Associate Director for the Career Center. So thank you so much for being here, Giselle.
Absolutely.
She and I are going to talk about the importance of internships, especially in the summertime. I'm going to talk about what are referred to as REUs, which is research experiences for undergraduates. And Giselle is going to talk more about internships that deal with corporations and companies and more of that professional end of it. Along on this conversation, we have a couple of guests that I also want to introduce you to before I get started. So first and foremost, we have Dr. Saigo's wife. Dr. Saigo wasn't able to be here with us, so we are so happy to have you, Dr. Barbara Saigo.
Thank you.
And we have Tom Howard, who is an alum of Westfield State, and he is my CRCA grad assistant. So I'm very, very excited to have him. And then the other face that you may or may not know is Gretchen. I'm putting you on the spot. Gretchen Conrad, and she is our assistant for honors and for CRCA. So,
hello.
And then if you don't mind just unmuting yourself or turning your video on briefly, we would love to know who is here with us and, how you found us. So I'm going to start with Kayla.
Hi, my name is Kayla. I was at your last CRCA meeting, and I'm here today because I want to learn more about the internship opportunities.
Wonderful. And Kayla, what department are you from?
The Movement Science Department.
Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome back. Thank you. Andrew Shea. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Andrew. Right.
Hi, this is my first time attending the CRCA. I'm also from the Movement Science Department, and I'm really interested in learning more about the opportunities for internships.
Wonderful. Caitlin?
Hi.
Hi. Looks like you have a friend.
Yes, I have a crazy puppy this morning. So my name is Caitlin Egan. I am a criminal justice and sociology major, and I found this event on the events calendar.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, it's nice to have you and your sweet little puppy.
Oh, thank you.
Olivia.
I am also from the movement science major. I was at the last meeting, so that's how I found out about this one. And I just wanted to learn more about internships for the summer.
Wonderful. Thank you. And Olivia, is it Ellie? Ely? Sorry.
Eli. It's okay. I'm also from movement science, and I'm looking to learn more about research, actually.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Thank you. Alexander Kelly. Okay. Wyatt Lawrence.
I'm also from the movement science major. I found out about this on last week's session, and I want to learn more about internships this summer.
Okay, great. And Junior.
Sophomore.
I'm from the movement science program as well, and I found out about this. My advisor told me to check it out as I start thinking about internships and such.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's wonderful to have you all here. And like I said, usually I love to host a lunch just to get you coming and, having a conversation, I think, around the table is always a wonderful way to better understand your needs as a student, because we're all here to support student success. That's we work together to do that. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go first. At any point in time, generally, this is informal, so interrupt me at any point. Just unmute yourself, because it's a little hard for me, obviously, to see hands. But unmute and ask questions, get clarification, whatever you need to do. So I just want to share with you I'm going to share with you a couple of things. The first thing I want to share with you, though, is my PowerPoint. Because if you're new, I don't want to go through this whole PowerPoint, but I just want to show you a little bit about the center and what we do. So the center is really intended to be a collaborative place. We believe that the best way to train you for the jobs of the future is to provide you with opportunities that require innovation and collaboration. And that's what the center is all about. And that's what these images kind of demonstrate. But if you kind of want to know how Kirka works at the university, Kirka connects with everyone. We connect with the Career Center as one of our really most important partners. And they help also connect us with the community and business partners. We work with the administration and the Office of the President. We work with faculty and staff, the IT library services, funding opportunities through our foundation offices, alums, the whole gamut. It's our job to make sure that we're well connected with the university, so that whatever you need, we can't provide, we try to find ways of getting that for you. This is an image of the center, and this is a place that you can come and study. It's a wonderful, quiet place to study, and everything here is movable. It's intended to be movable, and it's intended to focus on group collaborations. So hopefully we will get there. Right now, it's a classroom. It's been converted to a classroom, and my office is here as well. So I always love meeting students that come by. We love to host really fun events like the pet therapy during the winter time, donuts, coffee, whatever we can do. And there are a couple of initiatives that are going on, but these are some of the bigger ones that we do throughout the year. This fall, we are going to have the Kirka celebration. So hopefully you'll start getting some information about that through emails. And I'll show you on our website where you can find that information. Our Lunch and Learns, I started this last year, again, as an informal way to get students interested in thinking about applied experiences, regardless of the discipline, regardless of what year you're in. We have our SURF program, which I'll talk about today for the summer research, and then, of course, our ambassadors. And these are just some images of posters that or work that students present. And of course, our lunch and learn lineup. So just before I forget, next week we're going to have 2 other guests who are going to talk about poster design for those who are going to be presenting. But this is also a fantastic opportunity for you as students to engage and to give talks. This is one of our students who did the summer research project, and she is giving a lunch and learn in this case. And here's another faculty member. You may or may not recognize him, Professor Fernelli from the business office, business department, sorry. And generally, I have these peer mentors. And unfortunately, this year, we don't have peer mentorship because we, with COVID, we can't really go and visit classrooms. We can't do drop-ins. So I'm really looking forward to picking up this important peer mentorship piece when we all get back together in some way. But lastly, what I really want to focus today on are summer research experiences. In the summertime, we have for 3 years now, we're going to be going on our 4th year in 2021, where we offer essentially a scholarship for students to do 10 weeks of intense summer research. And the summer research entails Westfield students doing work with Westfield State University faculty. And the project is essentially a collaboration between the student and faculty. So it may be something that you're really, really interested in, and you approach a faculty member who has expertise in that field. And between the two of you, you come up with a project that's, novel and has the rigors of a research experience. And when I say research, I don't mean just science. I mean art, I mean music, I mean sociology, I mean criminal justice, I mean business, all of them. Whether we realize it or not, every single discipline requires some sort of a process that is akin to what we consider as research. You have an idea, you come up with a way, you better understand that idea through the literature, you come up with a hypothesis, and then you come up with ways of approaching that idea. And then you have a deliverable, and depending on your discipline, your deliverables may look very differently. This right here is, I don't have our 2018, although I will show you our student from 2018, our very first SURF program. The other thing about the SURF program, so it stands for Summer Student Undergraduate Research Fellowship. We're really like acronyms around here. But we provide you with a stipend. In the past, it's been about $4,000. I'm not sure yet how it's going to look for this summer. It may be reduced to about $3,500, but essentially it's kind of like a full-time job for you. We want to pay you to have experiences that help to broaden your expertise, broaden your interests, and really make you competitive for the next step in your career, whether it's graduate school, professional school, employment. And we recognize that it's not always easy to do these without pay. So we try to find ways of providing you that pay and still providing you that experience. In addition, we provide housing on campus if needed, and a small stipend for anything that you might need for your research. So in 2019, we had 9 students. So here are the students. You may or may not recognize them if they have not graduated. Thomas Howard is my grad assistant now, and he's on this call. And these are the mentors that they worked with, and this is the department that they worked through. So we ranged anywhere from sociology to biology, chemistry, history, which Tom can speak to, psychology. And then this past summer, we felt that although we were all remote, that the research portion or the applied experience portion was still a very important component that Westfield State can provide its students, and we did not want to let that go. So all of these projects that were worked on over the summer, this past summer, were remote. However, the students and the faculty found really creative ways of connecting, of mentoring, of of interacting together. During the summer, I oversee these programs. I provide professional development along with workshops, opportunities to have what are known as research in progress talks, where students give small, presentations about their work and where they're at. And the really cool thing about this past summer is that we saw a lot more of the humanities being represented and more of the, different sciences essentially. This, for example, this chemistry project was all about analyzing a proposal that was submitted through one of the companies that is responsible for cleaning up the Housatonic River. And so Holden was responsible for looking at all of these ways that the company proposes to clean up local rivers and assess which is better so that they can present that to the community that is affected. Olivia was working with Dr. Alina Gross in the geography, planning, and sustainability. She's really interested in making sure that Westfield State students know the types of sustainability that is going on campus and how to get involved. And she wanted to create some kind of informational video that can be shared for recruiting state students and for students who are currently here. Madison worked on a project to look at how individuals make choices that deal with healthcare issues and health insurance. Mario had a really creative project looking at this idea of embodiment and what does that mean. And so he and Professor Starr were working on ways of articulating embodiment through cartoons. So he learned how to draw. And then Cameron was looking at, different ways that COVID has affected the workplace and individuals in the workplace. So it was really neat. We were able to demonstrate that the students were engaged, were successful, and progress continued to happen. One of our original SURF students is Jared Peterson. So I'm going to just show you a small video about Jared, and this will be the lead in to what we're talking about in terms of why it's important for you as students to consider ways of engaging in internships and research experiences in the summer. So I'm going to play this video. Tom, if you can unmute yourself when I get it going, just to let me know that it is working, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Can you see our website or no, Tom?
No, I think if you stop sharing your screen and then reshare it, that's how I usually do it when I'm shifting around.
Yeah, it's too bad it doesn't just link it, but I think you're right.
Right.
So just 1 second.
My name is Jared Peterson. I'm a senior at Westfield State.
I'm going to share this in just 1 second. Just had to get it going. Do you have any questions yet for me? If you do, again, please just unmute yourself.
Will we be able to get these slides?
I can provide them for you. Are you talking about the slides for the projects that I just presented?
Yes.
Yes, I can definitely get this information together for you. And I can also show you where you can find it on our website, but I'm happy to. So let me just share this video really quickly. And
if it's on the website, I can find it on the website. I just wanted to make sure I had it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry, let me just, it's acting funny. Hold on 1 second. This is really annoying because I have to have the window open in order for it to share, at least my version anyway. I think it's right here. All right, sorry for the delay.
My name is Jared Peterson. I'm a senior at Westfield
Tom,
State.
can you see this?
And I'm a biology major. So I chose to do research really because of my intro bio courses I took through Westfield. I went up to Dr. Ramsey and I said, hey, I really want to do research, but I'm not sure what I want to do. And he had some ideas for me. Well, my research project focuses on a fish called a sea robin. Now, it's unique because it actually walks on the seafloor using its specialized fin rays. And we're taking a look at the mechanical properties and how the fish uses it to walk on the seafloor.
Working with Jared has been really amazing, actually. We've discovered a lot of interesting features about these fish, more than I thought was there originally. I mean, it started off as a very small little project idea, something that I've had in the back of my mind for a while. When Jared walked into my office, I pitched that one to him and he found it interesting, so we started to go with it.
So one interesting thing that we found when looking at these walking rays of the sea robin is that it is a structure composed entirely of bone and ligaments, and then all the muscles to make it move are at the base. So something like this could be easily applied to prosthetics, where all the muscles would be at the base of the extended limb.
Having your hands dirty, getting into research, doing what biologists do every day, can really give you a perspective that you can't get just from reading a textbook.
So when we're in the lab, we're using techniques such as dissection and CT image analysis to try to find out the mechanical properties and the anatomy of the walking rays of these sea robin.
We've got this brand new research building. Well, it's a brand new science building, the Science and Innovation Center, which gives us accessibility to these brand new research labs, which provide new equipment, a new clean area to work in. It's just a great environment that promotes undergraduate research.
So I've been working on this project for about a year and a half now, and we were going to plan to do some work on it over the summer, but we didn't really have the time or the resources we needed. And I reached out to Kirka, and they helped us with the program to fund us and support us through the summer, and we were able to get a lot of research done. They even funded us to travel to the University of Washington to use their marine labs and get more data for our research. We actually hope to publish this in the Journal of Morphology, so I'll have a publication, and I'll be presenting this research at a national conference in Tampa, Florida this January.
Being involved in Kirka has helped me immensely, especially in the research I'm conducting at this very moment. Having someone that we can bounce ideas off of at that center, like the director, Lamis Yarvinen, I worked with to promote the research I'm currently doing, has been really vital to the growth of the work I've been doing in my department and with my students. It's given me opportunities to expand my research, collaborate with other universities, learn new techniques, travel to different places to really expand what we're doing and grow as a research department.
Okay, so this gives you a little bit of an idea about Jared. Jared was one of our first summer research fellows, and I hope you picked up on what he said, which is that, he really just had an idea, but he didn't know where to go with it. And it started with talking with a faculty member that he really liked working with, liked taking classes with. And then the two of them approached me and asked if there was a way that we could fund this idea. So they were very successful over the summer. And because of the work that Jared had done with Dr. Ramsey, they actually just published in the Journal of Experimental Biology, I believe, their work, which is very exciting. And Jared also, got a sense of what it means to work in the research field. For me, I love watching the transformation that students go through, not just knowledge and content wise, in that skill wise, but just the way that students carry themselves from beginning to end. And I've seen it with every student. Tom obviously has I got to see that process with him as well. And these students are very successful at what they do. Jared, for example, has gone on to be a PhD student at Brown University. And he just reached out to me a couple of weeks ago asking if I would write a letter of recommendation for him. He's applying to be a National Science Foundation Fellow. So these little experiences open up so many doors for you that you may not have realized. And I'm super excited that Giselle is here to talk about that. But before I turn the page over to her, I wanted to let you know how you can find these from the research, undergraduate research end. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen with you, which is our Westfield State homepage. Hold on one second. Let me just get the right one. Okay. So hopefully, can you see this? Westfield State University is what it should be. If you go to this homepage and you /CURCA, which stands for the center, or Kirka, you will be taken to our webpage. And there's information in here, there's videos. There's another video of David Kennedy, who was also our first SURF student. He did his in English and he wrote a mini novel. What I don't want you to think is you have to be a superstar in order to engage in these or think about applying. You just have to be a disciplined student who wants to understand their field a little bit better, and who is willing to undertake kind of more of a rigorous project, but a really fulfilling one. So for you to find these experiences, if you go to For the Students tab, it will, again, here's a mini video about our Kirka celebration. Tom and I actually just worked on a really cute video for how to register. So when you get a chance, please feel free to go there. Currently, we just opened registrations for the celebration, which will take place virtually December 4th. And I hope that you guys will be able to present, and the video will tell you different ways that you can present. And at any time, please feel free to reach out to me or Tom. We are more than happy to discuss that with you. But what I want to show you are a couple of things. The research, and again, I'm talking about research for undergraduate students. These are nationally funded experiences. They take place all over the nation. As long as you are an undergraduate, enrolled undergraduate student, and a U.S. citizen or some sort of citizenship, you can apply for these. So what happens is all of these, and this is not an exhaustive list by any sense of the imagination, but there are many, many universities and organizations that receive this money, and they open it up to undergraduates all across the nation to apply to and to come, and I'll show you some of them. The important thing to note is a lot of these applications open up November 1st, and they're generally due by January 15. So the process is a really quick one. I'm happy to, if this is something you're interested in, I'm happy to set up a time to talk to you about this. But we also have our version where we only accept Westfield State University students and Westfield State University faculty to work with them. This is students from all across the nation can work with these individuals. And our deadline for summer application is April 15th. And I need to update all of these, but it gives you an idea of what you can look for. But if you're interested in doing summer research off campus, you can look at some of these resources. So if we go, for example, and again, this is not just science, so don't get turned off by some of these terms. The National Science Foundation, if you go to that website, it lists REU sites, so research experiences for undergraduates. And they list them in different ways, but these are based on disciplines. So let's say that you are interested in ethics and values studies. And if you go to the ethics and values studies, it provides you with sites that are currently accepting students. So for example, here, this is at Indiana State University or Indiana University. And if you go there, it'll say you're going to a third party. I hope you're seeing all of this. But here's the website, okay, for Indiana University. It explains their 10-week project or program, how you can apply for it, how much they pay you. You can see what other individuals have done in the past. And here they also have a small video explaining what they do, how you can get engaged, and what kind of projects you can expect. They generally accept about 10 students from across the nation. So our EUs are competitive, and they'll probably be more competitive this year because a lot of them had to be canceled last year. And then if you, for example, then go back to our list and go to the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History, it also provides you with different ways, how you can apply, past projects. So if you go to past projects, you can see some of the projects that undergraduates have done. And I believe they pay $6,500 for 10 weeks. That includes a stipend and housing. So it's actually a really great deal. But most of all, you can put this on your CV or resume, and it demonstrates what you're capable of doing to future graduate schools and employers. And you're networking with professionals in your field. And it's giving you an opportunity to really demonstrate your commitment to that field, or decide that this is just not for you. So if we have time, maybe I'll have you guys go through this, but I don't want to take up Giselle's time.
I had a question before we
Sure.
started.
Yeah.
So is this only for when we started? Like, I'm a first year student, so am I able to look into those, or is that?
Yep. The only requirement is that you've completed 1 semester of undergraduate studies. And then, yes, you are absolutely, this is available to you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And if any of you want to pursue it, need help, please reach out to me, email me, and then between Tom or I, we can go through it with you. So Giselle, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut into your time too much. I'm going to bring it over to you. And I wanted to go, Giselle and I talked about me going first, so hopefully she can also provide you with greater understanding about how these opportunities connect with the Career Center.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lamise, and thank you so much for all the work that you do in Kirka. For the students that are on this call, I do see some familiar names, so it's great to have you here today, and then some new names as well too. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Giselle Frechette. I'm the Associate Director of the Career Center, and my passion really is helping students get connected to their life's passion. And one of the greatest ways that you can do that is by testing things out. And through internships, research opportunities, this is your opportunity to really find out if this is what you want to do. If it is what you want to do, then you get additional experience and additional contacts. The beautiful thing about Westfield State as well too is that there's a lot of support for students to get out and do research and internships. Students can earn up to 15 academic credits for doing internships. So depending on your major will depend on how many internship credits that you can sign up for. But that's huge for you to actually get academic credits for doing internships. So I strongly encourage you to do at least 1, if not 2 or possibly 3 before you graduate. So many benefits to doing internships. I can't tell you how many times I've had interns that have been offered full-time jobs and their internships actually be converted into a full-time opportunity. If you're planning on going on to grad school, to have research and internship experience underneath your belt before you apply will be a huge benefit when you're looking into grad programs and getting accepted into more prestigious programs as well. So I strongly encourage you to do that. The one thing I will say is that I'm going to go through kind of our general resources. I know we have a lot of different majors on the call today. I would encourage you to set up a one-on-one appointment so we can kind of delve into deeper your more personal situation, what you're hoping to do for the summer, location-wise, and answer really any questions that you have. I am going to leave time at the end so we can kind of get into any of that. But just in case you prefer more of a one-on-one, just keep that in mind as well too. Okay, so I'm going to, oh, Lamise, can you give me permission to share? Good, thank you. Okay, so if you go to the Westfield homepage, just like Kirkhoff, you're just going to type in Career Center, and it's just going to take you straight to our homepage, which is going to be very convenient to navigate through. Once you're on our homepage, you're going to see a lot of different services that we offer for students and alumni. We have career fairs, which are also a great way to identify internship opportunities. We actually just 3 career fairs that we hosted, but on this page, you're going to see additional career fairs that are hosted off-site as well too, either by companies or by other college career centers. If it's on here, it is open for you to attend. The nice thing about attending career fairs is that you actually get a direct contact. A lot of times when you apply online, sometimes you're left wondering, did they actually receive my application? When am I going to hear back from them? When you go to a career fair, you actually have someone right there. And so it's a great way for you to get connected immediately to someone at that organization to talk more about your internship and the application process. So I highly recommend going to job fairs. They're really nice now because they're all online, and you can sign up for sessions in advance. And so you can kind of build your schedule based on what's going to work best for your classes. So those are something I highly recommend that you do. And then, certainly we have working nights as well too. And a lot of times we invite in alums that come back to talk to students about their career paths. And certainly you can explore possible internship opportunities with them as well. Okay, but going back to our homepage, and you're going to see a tab here for internships. We've done the legwork for you. We've laid out everything for you on how to identify where internship opportunities are. So I'm going to go through this a little bit backwards, and you'll understand why in a second. So I'm going to start with the Disney Internship Program. The Disney Internship Program is a semester-long internship that you can do either at Walt Disney World or at Disneyland. As you can see, it's temporarily on hold due to COVID-19, but I do often have students that are interested in the Disney Internship Program. It provides you with an opportunity to intern down at Disney for the semester. I'm not quite sure when it will be back up and running again. I know they're really trying to go as best as they possibly kind of keep all of their staff safe and their interns safe as well too. So for spring semester, it's not happening. I'm not sure what's going to happen with fall 2021 quite yet. All right. The Washington Center, however, is still in operation. The Washington Center is a great internship program that is housed in Washington, D.C. And you're going to see they actually have a lot of different opportunities for students in different areas, different backgrounds, different majors. It's a highly prestigious, competitive program where you get an internship at a number of different businesses or federal agencies or nonprofits or law firms down in the DC area. You essentially apply to the program. Once you're accepted, they then will interview you, and then you interview for different internships throughout DC. And then they will provide you with housing once your internship is secured. You live in these amazing suites down in DC. You're in the heart of the city. In some cases, your internship will provide you with a Metro Pass so that you can get to and from the internship. But every single student that I've talked to that has done the Washington Center internship raves about it. They absolutely love the quality of the internship that they're getting. They love the fact that they are able to live in Washington, D.C. for a semester. And I will be honest, I am not one that is big into, politics. And so I had never really had a draw towards DC personally. However, when I went to DC for a separate role that I'm part of, I do grant review stuff for the Department of Ed, and actually flew down to DC and spent a couple weeks there. Absolutely amazing. The museums, the restaurants, the vibe of DC is incredible. And again, with the Washington Center internship program, we have had students that have done the internship, loved it so much that they ended up staying and were offered full-time employment through their internship as well. So this is available for all students, regardless of your major. There is a 3.0 GPA requirement. And then Junior Delgado, who is the director of the Career Center, manages this program and certainly would be the best person to connect to if you're interested in going this route as well. Okay. And then I'm going to go back up here to identifying remote internships. So with COVID, we've seen a shift with internships going more remote. I mean, for obvious reasons. So we're seeing a lot more opportunities online for virtual internships. And this certainly is a route to consider. I mean, the advantage to going this route is that it certainly opens up the door for you to intern at organizations throughout the country, which due to financial reasons may not have been a possibility in the past, but now is. So virtual internships are slightly different than in person for obvious reasons. When you're in person, you really are immersed in the company office setting. You get a chance to really interact with people. But I will say that a lot of internship sites are very creative in how they're navigating around this. I think we've all kind of gotten a lot more familiar with Zoom and learn how to navigate through this virtual environment that we're currently in. And the same thing goes for internships. So your training is done online, staff meetings or any additional meetings that they want you to partake in, you're just kind of logging in on your computer instead of being in person. So that's really the shift that we're seeing. If you're interested in identifying remote internships, we've identified several different resources on here to help you to find those opportunities. I'm not going to take you through each of these because I think they're pretty self-explanatory, but these are a lot of really good opportunities to find internships. There's also, a couple other resources on here too, so that if there's an organization that you're specifically targeting, and you want to know, are they still doing a summer internship? Where are they kind of standing? Did they freeze the program or not? We have 2 resources on here that can kind of give you up-to-date information on where that company is standing with the internship process. Okay. Find an internship. Now, this is the one that I'm going to spend a little bit more time navigating through because this one actually has a lot of the resources that will apply to all of you. So the first one we're going to look at is Handshake. Handshake is the Career Center's online job and internship database. When you click on this, it's going to take you to the My Westfield login. You're just going to log in using your My Westfield credentials, and then once you sign in, this is the home page. And it's quite simple to navigate through. You can click down here on jobs or jobs up here. Both are going to take you to the same spot. And then it's a search engine, just like your typical other sites like Indeed. You can plug in what you're looking for. We can say internships. You can say there's over 2,000 there. We can really even narrow it down a bit more too. But the nice thing about this one is that I can kind of do a quick search through here and see the different internships that are offered, and then I can actually save them so that if I'm not quite ready to apply right now, I can save them and then come back to them. And so I can say, okay, let me take a look at this one. And then you can get a better sense of the description, the qualifications that they're looking for, a little bit about the company, and the internship as well. And then once I'm ready to apply, I can come back up here to saved. And it's going to show me the internships I just saved so that I can actually just go ahead and apply when I've got my documents ready to go. The other nice thing about this one as well too is that it has an automatic tracking system already built in there for you. A lot of times when you're applying to internships, you want a way to kind of identify when did I last reach out to them, where are they in the process, and Handshake already has this built in here for you. I'm obviously not going to have any in here because this is my personal student account, so I'm not going to apply to any positions through my account because I'm not actually a student. But you would actually see on here the listing of the internship, when you applied, and then it would actually show you where they are in the process. Are they currently reviewing? Have they closed it? So that you get real-time information on where you're standing with that application. So that's the nice thing with Handshake. And like I said before, these are all the opportunities that we have in our system as well. And so you know that these are actually employers that are directly connecting with us. In the events tab, you're going to see a lot of different information sessions as well. You can filter this, as well too. So you can really narrow it down by if you're really interested in more of workshops or virtual sessions that they're doing. You can narrow it down quite a bit as well too. And then I can also see just career affairs if I'm not interested in the other ones as well. Okay. So that's Handshake in a nutshell, but that's really our primary resource for posting jobs and internship opportunities. I think that really should be your first stop. However, it's not the only stop that you can use. There are general job boards like Indeed, which I think a lot of students are familiar with, The one question that I get a lot though with Indeed, whoops, did I click on the wrong, I clicked on LinkedIn, I'm sorry. Is what do I put in this search criteria? Because a lot of times I'm not really getting what I'm looking for. So it depends really on what you're looking for. Sometimes if you're looking for summer, I will actually just put in summer 2021, and that will generate a lot more results. If I put in summer interns, you can see there's 13,900. I mean, obviously we narrow this down by location, but you see how even when we put in summer intern, it's a difference, 9,000 versus 13,000. So it's all a matter of playing with those keywords. And so this is where I would say having that one-on-one appointment is going to be really helpful, because then I can work with you to identify, okay, what is it specifically you're looking for? Because this is what I do. I can help you navigate around these. But nonetheless, so I think Indeed certainly is a good one. LinkedIn. If you haven't used LinkedIn or not on LinkedIn, we can't strongly push this enough. There are over 167 million LinkedIn users in the US alone. That is incredible. And that is the power of making connections and networking as well too. So LinkedIn is another great resource for identifying internships. I'll leave it at Springfield. And then you're going to see a whole bunch of different internships that come up on here as well too. I do find that LinkedIn is a little bit more towards corporate internships. So if you're math, computer science, business, marketing, this tends to be a good resource. Occasionally I do see some hospitals posting internships in here as well too. So it doesn't hurt to look. But I do find this one to be a little bit more on the corporate side for internships. However, I will say that a lot more organizations are posting on LinkedIn. Okay, I'm going to skip over some of these ones. Idealist is a great one for nonprofits. It tends to be very heavily Eastern Mass based, but you do see some throughout the state there as well. Massachusetts Life Sciences Center. This is an amazing internship program founded by the state. So with the Mass Life Sciences Center, they basically have an online application that you can complete. It's a number of different majors, all right? You fill out the application and then they send it out to the companies in the life sciences field. And if they're interested, they then get in contact with you. So it's one application for multiple internships. These are all paid and they're up to $17 an hour. Same thing for the Mass Clean Energy Center as well too. This one is just summer, but these are all paid internships. And these ones are $15 an hour. So like I always tell students, it's probably going to take you 10 minutes to do the application. Why not throw your name in the hat and see what happens? I mean, to have that as a possibility, I think is something you should definitely consider. All right, then if we continue down our page here, there's some other really good resources as well. I know we have a lot of students that are interested in conservation or environmental type work. The Student Conservation Association is an amazing national organization that hosts different opportunities during school and even for after you graduate as well too. But these are all expense paid. And a lot of times they'll even give you insurance as well, which is kind of nice. But even as an intern, if you're going to Colorado, let's say, they will pay for your travel and they'll pay, help you pay for your housing as well too. So this is a really good resource. Okay, and then if you're interested in medicine, this is another really good undergraduate research program. A lot throughout the country. A lot of these tend to be paid and also offer assistance with travel as well. So, I mean, the opportunities are endless. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'll just continue down here a little bit more too. Federal internships. They're very competitive, but they're also great opportunities. USA Jobs tends to be the main hub for federal internships. However, there are some agencies that will post only on their website. So if that's something that you're interested in, again, connect up with us because we can kind of help you navigate that, because that can be a little bit more time consuming to navigate. The Virtual Student Federal Service Program. This is an amazing opportunity. These are all virtual student programs, and they actually did this pre-COVID. So basically, federal agencies submit these projects, and there are more than 40 federal agencies that participate in this program. And here are the kind of the deadlines. So they submit their project between May 1st and June 10th. But then between the entire month of July is when students are going to be able to see these opportunities and actually apply for them as well too. And then typically you're going to do the internship throughout the school year. But if you're interested in the federal government, this is a great way to kind of get your foot in the door and get exposed to some of these opportunities as well. So that's a really good program as well. And then any students that have disabilities, there's also the National Organization on Disability that has, they work with students to connect them actually with internships as well too. So this is another really good resource. So I'm gonna kind of switch gears back because I did kind of do a lot of talking there, and just want to check in to see if there are any questions or anything that either I or Lamise can answer for students.
Would you recommend like applying like right now?
So that's a great question. So as you heard Lamise say, there are some internships and research opportunities that they're advertising now for the summer. Summer, it's kind of all over the place. You're going to see some that have opportunities posted now and that they want you to apply now. Other times you're going to see summer internships that are offered, they will get posted typically like February, March, April even for the summer. So it's kind of all over the place. What I would recommend though is really kind of talking with one of us and identifying what your interests are, and then we can help you get connected to the internships that are going to be best suited for you. But doing your research early never hurts, because the more information that you have, the better you're going to know of, okay, what opportunities are actually posted now, available now that I have to apply to, and then which ones aren't going to be posted until the spring semester for summer.
And can I also add, just as a general rule of thumb, the REU, so the research experiences for undergraduates, those generally have a much earlier date than most others. And again, those applications start November 1st. They go all the way, usually till January 15th, sometimes till February, because they make their decisions by March 15th. And the start date for most of them are June 1st, maybe May 26th, something like that. So in general, if you're looking at experiences that are funded through the National Science Foundation, they're going to have a much earlier deadline than some of the opportunities that Giselle has indicated. Our own personal deadline for summer research is April 15th, and that's because we want students and mentors to have a little bit more time to figure out their plan. But I couldn't agree more with Giselle. The sooner you do this, the more likely you are to better understand what you need to have before you apply. And you don't need to do this alone. You will have resources. You have Giselle, you have me, and there are others on campus that can help you through the process. I know that with REUs, they tend to apply as early as you can, because what happens if you're a rising sophomore and you don't get that opportunity? Apply again as a rising junior and a rising senior, because there's nothing that says that you're a competitive individual more than demonstrating these opportunities and networking. And, Tom could speak to that. Every single one of our students can speak for that. I'm sure Giselle can confirm that as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If it's okay, Giselle, I actually wanted to share like 2 minutes of my personal experience, looking
Absolutely.
for internships.
Absolutely.
My first year, I expressed interest in my history major. I didn't have political science as a double major. Yeah, I had that sophomore year, but I expressed interest in looking for an internship, and pretty early, it was the fall semester going into spring, and they were able to secure me a summer internship. I wanted it to be credited, so the university reviewed my application and funded my internship so that it would count for class, for accredited hours. And that internship was great. It really helped me to work on my transcription skills in history, looking at 19th century and early 20th century cursive writing. And I actually used that to in my history research methods course when there were certain documents that we looked at, like Civil War soldier letters, as well as a journal that was written in the early 18th century that I really dissected and sort of really built those skills and hands-on sort of what an internship can really offer students. And it was really something I didn't think I would really be getting into when asked, what I would be studying in my first year as a history major. But just, taking those, that experience and then reapplying it when I was a sophomore going into my junior year, looking for a political science internship. That one was really difficult for me since, looking at the different departments, how history had sort of a specific internship coordinator. I'm not sure how it is. I know there's a lot of movement science students in the venue now, but I had to do a lot of my own personal networking for the political science one. And that's something I didn't know I had to do. And that was, I expressed interest in looking for an internship for political science around April. And it was really just, contacting multiple different representatives in the area, but it was, they're all very busy in their own local government. And it was really, getting up until, July, right at the due date for the semester one internships, when I actually was able to, receive contact for one and interview and get the ball rolling with all the different people that I contacted with. And Giselle was really great actually for giving me a list of contacts to contact. But we're just thinking ahead and scheduling, for these opportunities. I know it's a lot of dates, but the best thing you can do is just start thinking ahead of time to follow up on those dates, so you're not playing, a race against time. But both the resources that Lamise expressed, as well as the Career Center as a whole, is fantastic, just for helping you to really build those networking skills. And you might have to do some personal networking for yourself, but they can really give you the tools that you need in order to succeed in that field. But thank you for letting me take up some of your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm also a political science major, so I will need help with that too, networking, because I was looking too, and I don't even know where to start because it's so broad in a way.
Right. And through the Career Center, scheduling a one-on-one meeting would be really helpful for you to do. That's what I did when I was looking for my internships, and they can really set you on the path. I was looking at local state representatives, but also too with clean water and clean energy, some of the stuff that we had talked about in the presentation. Although of it now, it helps to have that sort of reiteration and sort of scheduling for that one-on-one appointment, just to, sort of help schedule your life, in terms of networking for that, with all the dates and whatnot. But like I said, I have many friends who did the Washington Center. I thought about doing it, but it didn't really fit in my schedule. And they, I can also, bring a voice that they absolutely loved it. And there was something that we're really looking forward to. So that's something that is great, that also coincides, although, you don't have to be political science in order to go to DC, like we said before. There's a lot of opportunities for poli-sci majors in that internship. So I highly recommend making that one-on-one meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, and I think Giselle would also agree. We're coming on time, so I don't want to keep you, but just be open to opportunities, even if it's not one that you think you're going for or you are looking for. If an opportunity like this comes your way, take it. It's a great way to determine whether or not you want to pursue this field, and it also builds a whole other set of skills that you will you will utilize, whether you realize it or not. So any other questions before we close? All right. Well, thank you so much again, Giselle. And thank you everyone for being here and sharing in these conversations. We hope they're helpful. If nothing else, we're planting a seed, and we're here to support you if this is something that you're interested in. And we hope to see you at our next one next week. And then the last one is going to be again with the Career Center. So clearly we think that they're a very important partner for you. Have a wonderful day, and thank you all again.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.